So when I went there, everybody told me you cannot be able to select. I was closed my eyes and I was dreaming like I'm playing well. I'm in the flow state. Team is going to led by Mr. Nadeem and he is going to be the captain of the Indian University. So when you're in that kind of a mindset, flow state, whether you don't care about whether you select, don't select, but you give your best.
Hi everyone, today we have with us Mr. Nadeemuddin, a former international Indian hockey player, a serial entrepreneur, and CEO for Active Life. He is a health and wellness expert and an active life consultant with more than 15 years of experience in the wellness industry. As a fitness trainer, he has delivered 200 plus programs in different TV and radio channels and even gives lectures in various parts of India. So he strongly advocates optimal health and promotes the concept of biohacking and longevity. Today, he will be taking us through his life journey and share with us his secrets for looking young and handsome in his 40s. So make sure you stay with us till the end. Before we start, I would request you to kindly subscribe to my channel and Mr. Nadeem's channel. The link is mentioned in the description. With that, let's get going. Hello, Mr. Nadeem, and welcome to the show.
Hi, it's pleasure to be on your show.
Thank you, sir. And let's start from the start. So, my first question to you is how and when did you realize that hockey was your calling and not any other sport?
So when I was 10 years, I used to play a lot of sports, football and so many sports. In the school, I used to play, but I went for a under 15 tournament to play in other city. So I was a goalkeeper actually. So when we were playing match, they announced that whoever plays well, they're going to give the best player award. So I went and asked my coach. Even the goalkeeper also gets the award because I don't know. Best player means only the people who plays in the field. So he says, no, no, you play. Then I played very well and I got the best player award. So then I start feeling it is my cup of tea. So that's how I entered into hockey full time.
That's a really nice story that you had discussed. Means the when you were positively motivated by a teacher, like you got some award, it made you do more of it.
Yes.
Generally we say that we should criticize people. Generally we say that we need to criticize people, otherwise they'll not do that good, they'll not perform to their best. But here we have a different story. We are seeing the concept with that the more you promote the students, the more you get the international hockey player, you can get a champion level players.
Even sometimes it is important to put certain words where it hurts, where
Hmm,
you wanted to show somebody those kind of things also there. But actually, hockey I started like this initially.
true. um, So, actually, it reminds me of my experience as well. The first time I gave training and everybody appreciated me, that time I thought, oh, that is my calling. Maybe I can do it for a long period of time. So, I could relate when you are saying that you were appreciated and it got you into hockey. So, sir, my next question is that many people believe that during a tournament, it's 90% of your mental strength and 10% of your physical strength. What is your view on this?
Yeah, it's absolutely right. Mind uh, game is 90% in many ways. Okay, so I'll give my own example. See, I am from a small town, Tirupati. So I was actually playing a district championship, and my performance was very, very bad. So my coach called me and shouted me left, right, center that you are not doing well. The moment I came back, I got an invitation to come and participate in the selections in BHU, Banaras Hindu University. So I don't have time. Immediately I had to start. I don't have time for practice or anything. So in those days we used to travel in the trains. In the train I took the upper berth and slept there and I was closed my eyes and I was dreaming like I'm playing well. Nowadays I came to know it's called visualizing techniques and all. But in those days nobody could tell. So I was just dreaming that I'm playing, I'm stopping ball and I'm in the flow state. So, like 2 days, I have enjoyed that visualizing my performance. So then I reached there. So when I went there, everybody told me you cannot be able to select because you don't have a godfather, you're from a small town, you cannot perform. So I just listening everything, but I'm not reacting because I said, okay, I just came here to see a new city, new place. And because there is no fear in my mind whether I select or don't select. So I was giving my performance. So after that, I realized, okay, somebody will be get selected, and I may not be. So I was just sitting there, and I wanted to see who is the team they got selected. So Jamban Lal Sharma, he was a ex Indian captain once upon a time. He was the selection committee. He came and he said the team is going to led by Mr. Nadeem, and he is going to be the captain of the Indian University. So that was a shock for me, but I felt okay. When you're in a that kind of a mindset, flow state, whether you don't care about whether you select, don't select, but you give your best. So that's where I've done. So then I realized, okay, mental fitness is important. Then when I was in Indian team also, a lot of people came. They said we were from this academy, we were from this academy. We every day we play with so much best players. We have exposure to international matches. So for me, I came from a small town. I don't, but I didn't allow those things to go into my mind. If I start saying, okay, he's a great player, then I will not able to perform. I said, whoever you are, I am here. I just came here to play my game. That's all. So like that, I went on doing so many things. See, as you said, mental, it is actually it puts negative and positive things. See, when I was in the Indian this selection, so I used to have a helmet, and in the helmet I used to keep the Indian flag, stick Indian flag, saying that I was in the Indian team. That's already I was living that life, and suddenly um they said you have to go and perform. So when I took my helmet, the sticker was not there. So there is a fight in the mind. This is the final selection that are happening for Indian team, and the sticker was not there. So then I was, thinking what to do. Then I said, okay, you already selected. Why you are bothered about this sticker? You have to have a sticker here. Now you are going to get. So something I, motivate myself and went, and I've given a beautiful performance. So then I entered into the Indian team.
So you have put across very nice points about visualization and flow state, and many people don't understand it. But from a player who has been there and done that, how did you actually visualize? Means were you taught by someone or you did it yourself? And exactly did you how detailed you were when you were visualizing?
Yeah, it's like a dream. Like, you are seeing a dream, closing your eyes, and you are seeing the color of the ground. You are seeing it is not there, but everything like you are living that. So that's what I have practicing from the beginning. Like if suppose I'm playing in a mud court, so I can see the mud and everything. If I'm playing in AstroTurf court, the green, water, everything. So you are feeling that your senses has to feel that you are there. So then only it goes into your head.
Right. And sir, about the flow state, can you tell us more about the flow state? How did you first realize that you went into a flow state? What it is? Maybe we can start with what it is because a lot of audience don't understand what exactly is a flow state.
See, I lived in the flow state many times in my life, but recently I started realizing in past 2 years uh, there is so much of ups and downs, and you are not caring about that. You are enjoying, you are happy, you are doing whatever you want. When you are in that state, I was a little bit of knowledge, attending few seminars, few this thing. I now I can able to understand the terminology. Otherwise, I don't know. Like I was enjoying those moments and all. So now I can understand when you are in a happy mood. So what kind of hormones you are releasing in the body? When you are in a sad mood, what kind of changes are happening? So I'm actually able to be aware what is happening. So flow state depend on different aspects. Like when you are talking, so I can realize, that time when I was in many tournaments where people say you cannot win. See, actually, our university went to play one tournament, and we we were in the high in terms of physical fitness and mental fitness, and that university never won any tournament in terms of they never reached to a certain this thing. So they have given us TADA only to play 2 matches and come back. Okay, so we went there. We were enjoying. We were playing like anything. We don't bother about winning or losing. We are in that state. So then we entered into the finals. So we don't have TADA to eat. So our physical director has to get the telegram, or in those days they have to bring the money to feed us. So like that, when you are in that state of mind, uh, it is actually one match I remember when we are talking about sports. See, I have played one match for 2 years. Okay, that was the 31st December. 31st December, we were playing a match, and the match was draw. And they are given. They said that the light has gone, so we are postponing to tomorrow. Tomorrow is a January 1st. Okay, so next day we are going to play. The whole night I was thinking, if you win this match on the 1st January, the whole year is going to be a best year for you.
I can
So,
relate to that.
so the whole night people are enjoying. They are saying Happy New Year, this, that. So I was thinking I wanted to, go and play. So next day we went, we played again. It was draw. Then the penalty strokes has come, and in the penalty strokes, goalkeeper is the hero. Like
Hmm.
I have saved so many goals, and our team has entered into the final. I mean, so then my whole life has turned. From there, I started going. So these are the moments where you get a chance, where you get the moment. You have to convert into your advantage.
So what I understand from you is that to be in the flow state, first you were really passionate for what you were doing. You were loving it, and there was no fear of failure. What others are saying, it doesn't matter. You're simply doing it.
Yes.
So, but it's actually for a normal person, it's really difficult to understand when others are saying. How do you get that kind of resilience? That no, whatever others are saying, you are just closing your mind and you are not listening. How did you develop this trait? Do you remember any incidents in your life uh, where you actually started realizing that, yeah, I have this trait that I am going to do what I want, not what others are telling me?
See, actually, if you start doing something for others, you will not able to do it. So when you are enjoying the process, people, 90% of the people, they worried about the result. So I never bothered about the result. I always enjoyed the journey, whether it's in school. In the school, actually, I'll give you one example. Uh,
Hmm.
in the college, I was in the Indian University's camp, so I never get the chance to study the books and all. So I just came back and there is an exam. So I went to write the exam, and in the exam, my tuition teacher used to be there. He used to give gunshot questions. Okay, who are prepare for those 10 questions, they'll pass. So all the people they have prepared only those 10 questions, nothing else. All the college, and I'm the one who not prepared for anything. So I went there, sat there, and the question paper was given. So all the people are seeing each other's face because they don't know the answer. Except those 10 questions, they never studied anything else. So they were just sitting, seeing each other's face, and they're just sitting like this. And I took the paper. I don't know much. So whatever general knowledge, because of my travel. So the question is, I think civics or something. The question is, who is the president of India? What is this thing? So I was going on writing whatever I know. So like that, I was going on taking additional sheets. I wrote 35 marks. I mean 35 papers, and maybe I was given one mark for each paper, and I was passed. So the whole college was failed. I'm the only one who was passed in that. So when you're in that state of mind, you're not bothered about whether you fail or pass. Then you're actually enjoying that moment. And I was so enjoying. So the teacher was seeing me. Nobody is writing what you are writing. So like that in every state. That is the now you are saying the terminology I came to know today, like
Hmm.
flow state or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
So, with that, I would like to ask another question related to your struggles. Like you are saying, you're always enjoying it, but can you remember an incident in your life where you actually wanted to quit, but something stopped you from quitting, and then you realized your potential?
Yeah, many incidents are there, many times. Like uh, I was in Patiala for Indian camp, and I don't have a proper kit like pads and all. So I don't have money to buy those kind of expensive thing. So I was playing. So one day I kicked the ball and the pad came out and fell somewhere. So the coach called me and he said, "Arey, you are in an Indian camp and you are going to be this thing, and why don't you buy something?" So I know the financial position of my parents, so I cannot ask them. So I was trying to do whatever repair, the creativity, whatever I can do. So there are so many situations where I feel, if I get this, I can do it. But I know I'm not able to get it. So like that, there are so many incidents where I had to go with that. But at the same time, your mood should not. A lot of kids nowadays I see, no, अगर ये मिला तो मैं ये करूँगा, वो मिला तो वो करूँगा. These kind of struggles also helps you in becoming more stronger.
Yeah, today kids are ready to give up the moment they don't get the first. They see the first failure actually.
Yeah,
So yeah, that is a really a great incident that you had mentioned, and I remember that earlier days it was difficult for parents to afford proper education for student for their
yeah,
children, leave alone getting the expensive kits and all. So how has your life changed post retiring from the game?
yeah. See, actually, it was like calling. Like I was there in Tata's, so somehow I'm not enjoying. So my heart is saying to you, something is calling you. So I don't know what is that. So I resigned the job. I left the job and came out from Tata's. So everybody said, "Are Pagal, why you are leaving? You are having so much of good job and all." So when actually before I leaving that, I started developing interest towards wellness. So in Tata's, we have created a group called Wellness, so where we are teaching people about lifestyle, about this thing. So my passion from sports slowly started moving towards that side. So then I came to Hyderabad. I joined Apollo Group of Hospitals. We have set up the first wellness center in the history of Indian hospitals. No hospital had the gym and the wellness in the hospital. I'm talking about way back in 2000. So we are pioneers in doing that. So we started teaching people, I mean, doctors, the physios, and the dietitians about the holistic health. See, what happens was a doctor knows only few things, dietitian knows only few things, a fitness specialist knows only a few things. So there's no integration is happening. The psychologist knows only a few things. The yoga therapist knows only a few things. So integration, we have created a course where we try to integrate everything. If suppose you are a psychologist, if you don't know anything about fitness, so you cannot able to counsel well. So if you have a little bit of knowledge, what kind of hormones body releases, what kind of changes when you are physically fit, and this will help you in your profession to go to the next level. So uh, there is a big struggle because I never been to college or school. So then I realized after coming, I realized I need to add some degrees. So my
Mm.
passion from there started towards adding qualification to myself. So I was up to that time I was only BCom. Okay, then I have done my four post graduations and now I'm a doctorate in. I got an honorary doctorate. So then how I have my travel started was I came, I realized I don't have much knowledge about anatomy, physiology, kinesiology, because when I'm working in the hospital, when I need to handle the patient, when I need to handle doctors, I need to have these knowledge. So then I have joined the certification course. In those days, Reebok has come. So Reebok certified fitness trainers. So that I have done first. So then I've done a post graduation in preventive and promoter healthcare. Then after that, I realized I need to market it. So I joined post-graduation marketing and advertising. Then I done my MBA in healthcare services. So like that, it is all again fun, it is not like whether fail or pass, I don't care, but I want to. By the time I finished my MBA, I was tired, like studying. Always I try to grasp the knowledge, but writing exams and all, I felt bored. So I felt for my work, somebody has to come and give me a doctorate or PhD for the kind of work I'm doing. So luckily, I got that also now. Uh, so this is my journey in terms of learning. So I worked with Apollo Group of Hospitals, and then I resigned there and I joined Indo-American Cancer Hospital, where uh, it is again I was the in charge. So that time, health minister called me and he said, Nadeem, I want to set up something. So he wanted to integrate different methods, Ayurveda, naturopathy, yoga, fitness. So because I have learned so many knowledges to integrate and also to promote it. So I also have the MBA and the marketing and all that. So I was created a very nice package to sell wellness. So that was a very good experience, and it was a talk of the town in those days. And then I felt now I had to go and give this thing to as many people as I can instead of only one place. So that's where I entered into corporate wellness. So my clients are like Microsoft, TCS, so many clients are there whom I was giving the wellness in terms of teaching, in terms of setting up their infrastructure. This is how I have started going. Yeah.
That is an amazing journey that you continued your education after a long period of time, and from someone who didn't like to give exams. That is very true, because what we are studying in the entire semester, that is often different from the exam, and
Right.
people are being judged just based on few hours of writing the paper. So I like to deviate a little. Like, what do you find more useful, getting a self education versus certificate, since you have been on both sides? So did you feel that getting certificates gave you knowledge, or just gave you an authentication that yes, I know it, and you learned more from the real life, from self studies? Like, self studies versus certifications, what do you think is more important?
Yeah, both are important. Again, one thing what I feel is the implementation.
Implementation.
Okay, suppose I learned like 2 plus 2 is equal to 4. Like, suppose if I take a client who has to lose weight, I studied something about nutrition, I have studied something about this thing. So if I go back and implement this, I tell him to
Hmm.
do this exercise, eat this. So most of people they say do that and they don't worry about that. So you have to find out, because what happens is each person is different. The diet which I have given to you, it may work, it may not work to you. So similarly, somebody, the exercise may work and may not work. So we have to understand uh, what kind of thing we are doing. So it's all about experimenting our knowledge and gaining something. See, learning from somewhere, experimenting, and you have to put your thoughts, you have to bring your creativity to do something. That's what I feel uh, the knowledge. It's only degrees. I know so many people comes to me. They say, "Sir, I have a PhD degree. I have this, I have that." So I tell them when they come for a job, I tell them, "Okay, boss, you have this, but what can you do it for me?" See, I'm an entrepreneur. If I had to give you a job, you have to give me ROI, return on investment. I'm spending a lakh of rupees or XYZ rupees as a salary. So what in return you're going to give? So they are clueless. They have a degrees, but they are clueless because they have not done anything. So this is where the change has to come in education system as a
Hmm.
whole. So more than theory, they have to know the practicality and how to implement and get result out of it.
Yes, and I think that is a very long topic, and it would require separate session, because
Yeah,
actually the education system, they have made some changes, but how good they will be at implementing it, that is a different debate. And we certainly need to just not learn and not depend on people with certificates, but people who implement, like you, who have implemented his knowledge. So, how have you managed to stay fit? Like, was it the same before you were playing and after you left the game? how did you manage to stay so fit?
Uh, See, when I was in the playing career, like up to my sports career, I was super fit because I need to be super fit to be in the Indian team, right? Otherwise, you'll be out of the team.
Right.
So that was up to my age of 27 or 28, like that. So then I entered into the fitness field where I'm learning yoga, where I'm learning aerobics and gym exercises. All these things I was trying to learn and trying to do myself and trying to teach somebody. If I have a client, personal training, I'm running with him and doing something. So like that, from 28 years to maybe 30 to 33, I was from super fit to I become a fit. Then what I've done is I become a manager of the whole health club where I had to sit and talk to people in my cabin, and I have 20, 30 employees who's working on the floor. I had to be less time in the floor, but I had to be more on the managing things. So my from fitness, slowly my fitness has started coming down. Then I started my own company where from chaprasi to the managing director, everything I had to take care. So when when I started my own company, I had to start from the scratch. So I have a small office. I have so many things. So running towards setting up the things. So like that, I then what happens is my fitness level slowly started coming down. Then after my 40s, I started many businesses. Then I went into some of the social groups and all. So then some of the incidents that happened to me. So in those incidents, my financially I started going down, and relationship like partners, and there's a fights, and in the groups, the people are trying to shame or some kind of incidents has happened. And then what happens is from super fit to fit, I have become unfit and unhealthy. I have gained 90 kgs of weight, and my energy levels are very low. I don't want to go to even office next door, and psychologically, emotionally, I become so down and bad. So that's where some miracles are happened, some this thing has happened. So then I fell in love with myself. Then I started enjoying the travel. In few years, now I'm actually 47. So in few years, again I started bouncing back in life. So in the bouncing back, I started developing the love again for fitness. I know everything, but what happens is in this process, when I was very depressed, when I was low, so that effect started happening in my what do you call uric acid.
Hmm.
My uric acid levels are going up. My cholesterol levels are going up. So I don't know why what is happening. I wanted to run, but I have a ankle issue, I have a back issue, and all that. So then suddenly some change happened, and I started loving this. And again, slowly I started. I spoke to a lot of people like yogic specialists and Ayurvedas. All knowledge I have, but I started working with them. Then I reversed my aging. Then I going towards my youth or going back. That's what I started doing.
That is a very big issue faced by startup entrepreneurs, especially that they lose track of their own health and taking care of everything. They stop taking care of themselves,
Yeah.
and it's really difficult for them to manage the business, their family time, and their own time. So once you bounced back after, like, I think you took few years to bounce back. Once you bounced back, what changes you felt started happening in your life, in terms of relationships, in terms of your health, and how did you started that journey? Like, did you start with nutrition? Did you start with the exercise? Tell us about the journey.
Yeah, I think it's a mental. First, you have to have mind. First comes mind. So you start enjoying life.